Hey, what's going on, Jets Nation? Just want to chop it up with you guys real quick. So, we know we're in a very pivotal offseason. I've heard a number of different YouTubers for the Jets mention this might be the most important offseason that we've had in, at least the most recent decade, which I would fully agree. For one, just point out some of the obvious highlights. We had Zach Wilson, who didn't commit a single interception within the final, 4 or 5 games of the regular season, which is unheard of. For us, it's always been at least, multiple turnover games. Maybe we get a multiple touchdown performance to match. But ultimately, things tend to trend that way for us. So to see that we've thrown 0 interceptions over the span of, a fourth of the regular season schedule is awesome. But what I wanted to cover today was Mekhi Becton. So we know that originally he was diagnosed to be out, I believe it was 6 to 8 weeks for the knee injury. So I believe he needed a knee scope. And then that was the original time frame. We seen that things bled out into the entire season ultimately. Now, what makes not just the Jets community so great, but the entire organization as a whole, and just some of the wholesome players and things we've had, is Damien Woody himself. This used to be, I believe, our right guard. But either way, Damien Woody, awesome guard for us during his tenure. He's already committed to reaching out and not only for one speaking with Becton, just because he can kind of relate a little bit. He also has some weight fluctuation issues. Not nearly as big of a man as what Becton is, but still same overall issue. So weight issue fluctuation, solid to above average performances from Damien Woody during his time. But when he did finally commit to getting his weight down, and it's not even necessarily just a weight thing, but getting in the best shape possible for his build, it took his career off. So not to say that he was just completely elite guard that just mauled people left and right, but you can see the obvious and tangible improvements there, which was awesome to see. So to know that he's going to reach out and one, not only just have the conversation, but two, maybe give him some of the tips, offer him the resources and things he used in order to get that done, should make this ideally the easiest offseason for Becton to complete that. So let alone whatever resources maybe the Jets organization can provide. Something that I recalled from beginning interviews and stuff, and just kind of getting some of the background of the top players that we drafted, is keep in mind Becton's mother is a caterer or a personal chef, something to that effect. So even when we're talking about the organization not necessarily being able to be hands on in terms of running off season practices with them and things like that, um, personally at home, Mekhi Becton should be able to get that from his mother in terms of um, putting meal plans together. Maybe something that he cross references with the Jets organization, or whoever it is he chooses to work out within the offseason, whether that be Damien Woody, other offensive linemen from the team, or just, whoever he's comfortable with. Um, but with all of that said, again, I think this is going to be very important for him. A couple things I wanted us to keep in mind was that when we originally drafted him, his rookie season, he missed a couple games there as well due to injury as well, but we've seen him bounce back. So we know it's possible. Maybe there was something more going on with the knee that, the organization and Becton himself aren't comfortable exposing right now. Um, but needless to say, that aside, he had a very, very good rookie season, which is crazy. Offensive line, cornerback, quarterback, obviously. Three of the most difficult positions for people to usually adjust to in the league, just because the vast physical traits of players that are coming in that are already well developed beyond their teen years. Extremely difficult. But he was in there and he was dominating people. So we know it's possible. Now, we fast forward to this season. He is going into a new scheme. He is being asked to do some different things in terms of not just mauling people in front of him, but getting out there and kind of doing essentially a few stunts, right? Maybe go out there and hit somebody at the second level really quick, pass somebody off to maybe the guard, which in this case would be Vera Tucker for him, who's immediately to his right, and different things like that. So there's a lot that went into play. But if everything pans out right, we should see a very, very good bounce back season from him. for the upcoming season for a couple different reasons. Elijah Vera Tucker had a very good season. His pass protection, I believe, should be much improved as well. But that gives him a stalwart immediately on his side. So really, if Becton plays up to the same potential he did during his rookie season, and we see Vera Tucker continue to improve, there's no reason why that left side shouldn't be dominated in both pass protection and run protection for our team. So I think ultimately we either have to point the finger at Becton himself as a player that just didn't take advantage of everything that was in front of him if we do see a flop, or, and I think it's the much more unlikely case, that the organization failed the player. We allowed the weight to continue to fluctuate. Maybe the plans that we put in place weren't so great. I know the big thing a lot of people will point fingers at is that a lot of the conversation around Becton's weight has been that everybody's a little uncertain what the best range for him will look like. And so maybe they were a little bit lackadaisical in that area. But I'm hoping, cautiously optimistic, that everything pans out in his favor. I know the mock drafts are coming up. We're seeing Evan Neal and other tackles and stuff get mocked to us because of the uncertainty around Becton. But at the very least, we know he'll come back healthy. It's really just going to be a matter of if he comes back in better shape than he's ever been. Considering it'll be his third year going into the league, if you want to count this sophomore season of his. But nevertheless, he's spent enough time in the league. He knows how the off seasons go. He knows how he should be treating his body and things of that nature at this point. I think all signs point to us seeing a very successful version of Becton coming back. Needless to say, I know we'll get some updates at some point during the off season. We haven't heard from him since week 1. So definitely looking forward to dropping that whenever we can get that little bit of information. But let me know what your guys' thoughts are on Becton. How do you feel performance-wise he may bounce back? What do you think about the size? Different issues that may have been going on there for him. Other than that, though, thank you guys for watching. All the support as always. And I'll catch up with you again.